greater than, welcome to my channel, USA Battle Zone. And ends with, like, comment, and subscribe. It's written as if it's for a dramatic, viral storytelling video, narrated with emotion and cinematic pacing. Here's the full version. Welcome to my channel, USA Battle Zone. Tonight, I'm going to tell you a story that few would believe, yet it changed the lives of everyone who witnessed it. It's a story about arrogance, fear, the cruelty of human hearts, and the silent power of those who command the sea. It began on a cloudless afternoon off the coast of California. The ocean was calm, a soft blue shimmer under the golden sun, but the laughter on the boat broke that peace like a blade through silk. A group of young men and women, tourists, influencers, thrill seekers, had rented a luxury yacht to celebrate a birthday. They were drunk on music, on money, on the illusion that the world revolved around them. And among them, was her. A quiet woman in her late 20s, with sun-browned skin, short hair tucked under a cap, and eyes that didn't fit the party. She wasn't one of them. She worked as part of the yacht's small crew, hired just for the day, to handle ropes, guide safety, serve drinks. Her name was Mara. Mara moved quietly through the chaos, wiping tables, tightening straps, checking the horizon like she was listening to it. The others barely noticed her. To them, she was invisible. Until one of them, a man with mirrored sunglasses and a grin full of cruelty, decided invisibility was boring. He threw an empty bottle near her feet. "Hey, sailor girl," he sneered, "how about you loosen up? We're out here to have fun, not play Navy." Mara said nothing, just bent down and picked up the glass. He smirked. "You think you're tough? You got that military vibe or something?" She looked at him once, her voice low. "Something like that." The group laughed, that kind of sharp laughter that cuts. The man said, "Oh really? Maybe she thinks she's a SEAL." The others joined in, chanting, teasing, pushing for a reaction. Mara just looked back at the sea. Her eyes were calm, but deep, the kind of calm that comes from knowing something others don't. Hours passed. The sun burned down. The party got louder. The boat moved further offshore. And when the alcohol turned to arrogance, when laughter became cruelty, that was when it happened. It started as a joke. "Hey Mara," one of them called out, "ever swim with sharks?" She gave a polite smile, shaking her head. "Well," the man said, his grin twisting, "today's your lucky day." Before she could react, rough hands grabbed her from behind. She gasped, a sound lost in laughter, as they dragged her to the railing. "Stop," she shouted, but the music drowned her voice. And then, with one final cheer, they threw her into the sea. Her body hit the water hard. For a moment, silence. Then laughter, wild and echoing, as she disappeared below the waves. They waited for her to come up. 10 seconds, 20, 30, but she didn't. The laughter faded into uneasy silence. Someone said, "She's not coming up." Another shrugged, nervous. "She's probably swimming under. She's fine." But the sea remained still. No bubbles, no movement, just that endless blue. The man with the sunglasses laughed again, forced this time. "Relax, she's a pro. She said she's Navy or whatever." But deep down, fear crept in. Then, a voice crackled over the yacht's radio, sharp, controlled. "Vessel Odyssey, this is Naval Command, you are entering restricted waters. State your position." The captain froze. "What? No, we're just out for a cruise." The radio cut in again. "Unregistered personnel detected in the water. Hold position. Do not move." The partiers looked around, confused. How could they know? One whispered. The captain's hands shook, because someone signaled them. From the depths, the sea began to stir. Waves rose from nowhere. The calm surface turned to rippling motion, swirling like something alive. And then, through the foam, a dark shape emerged. At first, they thought it was a dolphin. Then they saw the fins, not of an animal, but of men. 1, 2, 3, then 6. Dark suits, masks, and gloved hands slicing through the water in perfect silence. The Navy SEALs had arrived. They moved like shadows, emerging from the ocean, climbing the side of the yacht without a sound. The passengers stumbled back, terrified. One of them stammered, "Who are you?" The first SEAL lifted his mask. His voice was cold, commanding. Where's Lieutenant Mara Ortiz? Silence. The man in sunglasses blinked. Lieutenant what? The SEAL stepped forward. The woman you threw overboard. The man laughed nervously. She's part of your team. The SEAL's jaw tightened. She's one of ours. And you just assaulted a decorated combat diver. A beat of stillness. Then, a splash. Mara's head broke the surface near the stern, gasping, pulling off her cap. Her hair was slicked back, her eyes fierce. The SEAL nearest her extended a hand. Ma'am, perimeter secure. She nodded, climbing back aboard with effortless grace. Water dripped from her wetsuit beneath her uniform shirt, a hidden layer no one noticed before. She looked at the group, the ones who laughed, who threw her like trash. Her face was unreadable. One of them stammered, You're Navy. Mara's eyes didn't blink. SEAL Team 9, she said quietly. And you just made the worst mistake of your lives. The man with the sunglasses stepped back. It was just a joke. Mara walked toward him slowly. A joke, she repeated. Her voice didn't rise, it didn't have to. It carried the weight of storms. You throw people into the ocean for a joke. She stopped inches from him. Do you know what the sea does to people who don't respect it? He tried to look away, but she tilted his chin up with one wet hand. The ocean remembers, she whispered. Every scream, every secret, every act of cruelty. And sometimes, it calls us back to collect. The SEALs stood behind her, silent, motionless, like ghosts of the deep. Mara looked out at the horizon. Naval Command, she said into her earpiece, target secured. Civilian assault. Request extraction. Within minutes, the thrum of rotors filled the air. A Navy helicopter appeared above, slicing through the wind, lowering a rescue basket. The partiers huddled together, shivering, no longer drunk, no longer laughing. As the SEALs guided Mara toward the lift, one of the girls, trembling, called out, Wait, why didn't you just let us drown? Why help us? Mara paused. The wind whipped through her hair. She looked back, eyes soft for the first time. Because that's what we do, she said. We protect, even from people like you. The basket lifted her into the sky. The SEALs followed, and as the helicopter rose, the sunlight caught the waves below, shimmering like liquid glass, as if the ocean itself had bowed in respect. The yacht drifted, silent. The group looked at one another, faces pale, hearts heavy with something worse than fear, guilt. Days later, headlines filled the news. Tourists arrested for assault on Navy officer. Lieutenant Mara Ortiz identified as undercover naval operative. The footage went viral. Someone on the yacht had filmed it. The laughter, the throw, the splash, the moment of silence. The world watched, horrified. Comment sections burned with anger, then awe, then sorrow. People said she was lucky. But those who understood, the ones who had seen the look in her eyes, knew better. She wasn't lucky. She was trained. She was the sea's own daughter. Months passed. Mara returned to duty, stationed along the Pacific coast. Sometimes she stood alone on the pier at dusk, watching the horizon bleed into gold. The ocean whispered, always whispering, but to her, it wasn't noise. It was memory. It was home. And sometimes, when she closed her eyes, she remembered the moment they threw her, the laughter, the fear, and she smiled. Because that moment wasn't her downfall. It was her rebirth. The same sea that could take life had given her a new one. And she knew, there would always be people who mocked what they didn't understand. People who thought courage was loud and cruelty was power. But Mara had learned long ago, power isn't in shouting. It's in silence, in control, in the steady heartbeat of the deep. The ocean doesn't scream, it waits. And when it rises, it does so with purpose. Like her. So if you ever find yourself standing on a shore, looking at the waves, remember her story. Remember the laughter that turned to silence. Remember the men who thought they owned the ocean, until the ocean answered back. Because some waters aren't just deep, they're sacred. And some people don't just swim, they command. And that is why you never underestimate the quiet one. The one who listens. The one who belongs to the sea. This is USA Battle Zone, where true courage isn't about noise, but about heart. If this story moved you, share it. Let the world remember that strength doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it simply breathes beneath the waves. Like, comment, and subscribe. For more stories of valor, truth, and the silent heroes who command the impossible. Because the ocean never forgets.